David Beckham returned then, and not with a whimper. Ahead of the game, he spoke to us about his recent trials and tribulations.
We haven't played that well this season. You know, out of probably the 4 seasons that I've actually been here, the first season for me was the best. It was the best because of the players, you know, like Zidane and Ronaldo that were still playing amazing football. But this season's been different. You know, we've had some games where we've played really well, some games where we've played really bad, and you know, it's been weird because usually we play great at home, and we haven't played great at home this season, and we've been winning games away, and so it has been an up and down season, but it's still incredible that we're actually still in with a shout of winning La Liga, even though the last game was a bit of a downer for us, because I think it was an important game, because we've got 3 games now, big games, difficult games against Valencia, Sevilla and Bilbao, I think. So, you know, they're 3 tough games, so it's, you know, it's a bit difficult, but it's still amazing that we're still in the chance of winning it.
To keep at it, you have to get the points at home. It's been the worst record at home ever. How do you explain that?
I really don't know, because for me, playing at the Bernabeu is one of the best feelings in the world. So to actually be in the team and you know, maybe it's a confidence thing. I don't know. I still love playing at the Bernabeu. I always will, and always. You know, when I look back at my time at Real Madrid, playing at the Bernabeu is without doubt the highlight of playing for Real Madrid. Apart from obviously wearing the shirt, the famous white shirt. So for me, it's been an amazing experience, but you know, it's hard to explain why we've not performed at home.
When the Bernabeu turns against you, not against you personally, but against the team, I guess for people without experience, it's like it must be the hardest 90 minutes of their lives, I guess.
No, people explained that to me even before I actually played at the Bernabeu. People said, you know, if the people in the stadium like you, then it's all perfect. If they don't like you, then it's going to be tough, and you can see that. You can see that through the 4 years that I've been here. You know, there has been times where maybe I haven't had a good game, and you know, you get a few moans and groans, but that's life. It's up to you, and it's how you sort of come out of that. And I've always loved playing there, even when I've had a bad game. To play at the Bernabeu is one of the best feelings in the world.
Your coach Fabio Capello did have to convince people about that he could still do the job. Many people are still not convinced, and people are talking about a new coach next season. He has had to fight against enemies. Does that sound any familiar to you? I mean,
I think there's always critics throughout football and throughout life. I think there's always going to be critics there, whether you're a football manager, a football player, whether you're a gas fitter, or you know, any walk of life, and that's life, unfortunately. But it's how you handle that. It's how you come through that. And you know, he's a strong-minded manager. You know, he knows what he wants. He knows how to get it, and you know, he's got respect through football with, you know, what he's done in his career. But you know, I'm sure he understands. If you asked him that question, he understands there's critics out there.
What did you think of him when you were watching on television and he was saying, and by the way, David Beckham is not going to play for Real Madrid again?
I was surprised, because you know, he's always been pretty fair with me through the time that he's been here. You know, he's always, you know, been really respectful to me as a person, as a player. He's always explained things, but you know, that's why it was such a surprise. But you know, I think he's shown what sort of person and what sort of man he actually is, and a manager he is, because the way he just come out and said, you know, sometimes you have to, you know, you go back on your word, and I was thankful he done that, because thinking that I would never play for Real Madrid again was hurting me a lot.
But you managed to convince him otherwise. How did you do that?
Just the way I've always come back from things that, you know, have been said about me, or when someone says that, you know, I'm not up to the job, or when someone said that, you know, like he said, I would never play for Real Madrid again. I just thought, okay, well, it's up to me now to actually prove to him that I am professional, because I think what he said was, you know, how can he be committed to the team when he's obviously signed for another team? And I had to prove I am committed, and it doesn't matter whether I've signed for another club and that I'm going at the end of the season. I'll still give 110%, and I'll still fly into tackles and try and win something with this team.
Did he ever come to you and said, by the way, sorry David, I was wrong?
No.
Is that a strong-minded person then?
Without a doubt. He's a sort of he's a manager, as I said. He's respected throughout football, and he admitted that he wanted me to come back into the team, and I'm thankful for that. I would never come out publicly and criticise him, because he's too respected in the game for that, and I respect him.